My guy calls in sick on his first day at one job and then shows up in an Employee of the Month video at another one. The more I read about this guy, Soham Parekh, the more ridiculous it gets. Since it came out in a tweet last week that he's working for 5, maybe 10 startups all at the same time. And people have been blowing me up to get my opinion because I was overemployed working for 3 Fortune 500 companies at the same time for 4 years without getting caught. And people are trying to use my guy as a case study against overemployment. But Soham didn't get exposed because overemployment doesn't work. He got exposed because he broke every rule that makes overemployment work. Here's how he blew it and how to make sure you don't. His first major mistake was going after startups. And look, I get it. Startups are desperate for talented engineers. They hire quickly, and if you can do a lead code interview even slightly well, you'll get an offer by Friday. But here's the problem. Startups thrive by overworking their employees. And it's not a criticism against startups, that's just how it works. And they can justify it because if the company hits, everyone gets rich. And if it's your one job, startups are a great place to learn. You'll get way more responsibility and you'll be constantly learning in an ever-changing environment. But if you want to be overemployed, I always tell people to follow the 3 Bs: bloated, boring, and bureaucratic. The bigger and the more antiquated, the better. You want the average pace to be slow so you can keep juggling multiple jobs without reducing the quality of your deliverables. And you want that red tape to be so thick that it's practically camouflage. Startups are for building empires and overemployment is for hiding in them. And this is something that Soham couldn't do because of his second mistake. There's this concept from astronaut Chris Hadfield that I absolutely love, and it applies to any team. You can be either a -1, a 0, or a +1. If you are a -1, you are actively detracting from other members on the team. If you are a +1, you're making everyone around you better. And if you're a 0, you're neutral, not rocking the boat. And by all accounts, Soham wasn't just decent. One startup founder said that he was a top 0.1% talent. And that's the trap. He would impress people so much in the interview that they would hire him on the spot and then expect to have a game-changing rock star on their team. Basically, they expected him to be a +1. But then if you're juggling 3, 4, 5 jobs all trying to be a +1, you're not gonna deliver excellence anywhere. But instead, Soham wouldn't even show up. He would ghost founders, and one time he even blamed a missile strike in Mumbai for his late deliverable, which I am absolutely gonna add to my excuse spreadsheet. That's tremendous. Overemployment isn't about being impressive. You're not trying to be a +1. You are aiming to be a 0. You wanna be the person that no one double checks on, the person that no one remembers after an all hands call, and the person that no one asks questions about. Not the star of the team, but not the weak link either. Just wallpaper. Universally tolerated, but really hard to get rid of. And Soham wasn't that. He was actively a -1 at every single job while putting on the veil of being a +1. It's a clear mismatch. And that's the fastest way to get exposed. Actively drag down other team members and make it harder for them to work. Besides, let's do the math. There are 168 hours in the week and Soham claims to have worked 140 of those, meaning that there's 28 hours left over for eating, sleeping, showering. That means 4 hours of sleep a night if he didn't take a single extra second of break to do anything else. Now, either he's a cyborg, lying, or he's doing as much drugs as Elon, but here's the deeper issue. This ruins the entire point of overemployment. It goes against everything that I stand for. The goal isn't to work yourself to death across multiple companies, it's to work less but make more. See, the real goal is to work 2 or 3 jobs in the same amount of time that it takes you to work one by being ruthlessly efficient and optimizing your workload so that you're only delivering on the highest value tasks. My performance reviews stayed exactly the same from when I had 1, 2, and 3 jobs. They were all very average, which was the goal. Again, being a 0. And truly, if you're working at this pace, you are going to burn out in a number of months, not years. Honestly, I'm surprised he was able to keep this up for 2 years. And here's the final nail in the coffin. Some of this man's jobs were in person. This is Overemployment 101. You need to be remote or at least hybrid. I have tried going into the office and juggling more than one job, and it is a nightmare, basically borderline not possible if you have more than one in-person job. How are you going to be in multiple offices at once? It's not possible. And this fact alone alone proves that he was going at this with no strategy whatsoever. He is just that one guy getting hired and fired from jobs, making overemployment look bad for the rest of us. So what's gonna happen to him? Blacklisted forever, unable to get a job, sued into oblivion, jail? Nope, I've said this before, but let me be clear. Overemployment is not illegal. He's not gonna go to jail, he's not gonna get sued. The worst case has already happened for him, which is getting let go from all of his jobs. But he already has a new job. The day after he got fired from all of them, he got picked up by another startup for an exclusive contract, and he says that he's not gonna work for multiple companies again. And that's the irony. He did everything wrong, but still was able to land on his feet. But that doesn't mean you will, because Soham didn't pull off a masterclass. This was a circus act, and he got lucky. And most of you watching this are not trying to juggle flaming swords. You're just trying to escape a 9-to-5 without getting caught. So let me remind you, overemployment is not a career, it's a heist. And if you're gonna pull off a heist, you need a plan. For starters, subscribe. Then don't be flashy, don't be loud, and don't be Soham. Thanks for watching.